Hey everybody, welcome to the Noir Bar. So, I'm here with Jack. He's a guest at the Noir Bar, always welcome here in our after hours joint. And joining us tonight are also Far and Jacob Jett. So, yeah, Far won't be drinking. She'll be taking her customary single glass of water containing a single ice cube. It's a good thing we like her, or we'd kick her ass out. But
Wow.
Well
Wow.
but
So I'll just see my way out.
no, it's fine. Where do you think we're
Oh.
getting our bootleg?
Wait, is that
our
what
boot-
that is on the screen there? Is that a glass of water with
Oh,
two
yep.
ice cubes in it?
Yeah, let's go with that. That's not a martini with two cocktail onions in it or anything.
It looks like
does-
a glass with two cubes of ice in it.
that's what it looks like.
Is that what ice cubes look like where you live? They look like olives to me.
No, they're cocktail onions. They're white. They're little cocktail
Gross.
onions. Yeah,
Onions.
What it looks like ice.
I'm not. Anyway, we're not
Yeah,
here.
give me a one if it looks like ice.
We are not here to talk about your weird spherical Australian ice. Okay. It's...
Hey, their toilets flush the wrong way. You gotta be careful with them.
And I noticed that a few people in chat said that we're stepping on Bear's Breakfast with Bear stream. Hey, it's a late night environment, okay? It's not our fault that over in England it's already the morning. It's still the wee hours of the eve here.
Just admit you didn't know he was streaming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Easier.
You already admitted to us.
yeah, it's actually true. When I went into Creator Studio to launch the stream, I'm like, oh look, I got a notification. What's going on? And it's like, oh god damn it, Bear's fucking streaming. But I had already got everything set, and I had already sent out the links, and so I was like, nah, fuck it.
Ooh, Ryan makes an interesting point. Those look like eggs, and instead of onions, what if you put hard-boiled eggs in a martini? It's got protein.
Well, you know what? Have you ever had a pickled egg, Jack?
Yeah, they're gross.
You don't
but
like 'em?
Some people are into that.
What about you, Far Jacob? You ever had a pickled egg, pickled hard-boiled egg?
No.
No.
No. Well,
Don't do it.
they're good, man.
Oh, they're disgusting.
It's
I wasn't planning on it.
it's
It's like eating a little orb full of vinegar.
it's awesome,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. It's
What-
fucking disgusting.
So what? You don't like tart nothing, or just that?
I don't like anything pickled. It makes me want to puke. It's partly the smell, but also the taste, because it's like it's sort of like eating a semi-preserved corpse.
Come on, chat, back me up here. Like somebody had to have had a pickled egg and enjoyed it. It's classic bar fare. They got him in a big canister of brine sitting behind the bar. It fits right in with what we're doing here in the Noir
Yeah.
Bar.
Hey, let's go to some sketchy dive bar and eat some random eggs that are floating in a mystery liquid.
Oh, excuse me.
That's brilliant.
Did you just call my
How did that
Did you
backfire?
just call my establishment a sketchy bar?
Those are the only kind of bars that allow me in. Thank you.
I believe it.
Johnny
The
Boss.
classy ones are all like, you can't pull your nonsense here. Get out.
Well, Quinn the
These
Cultist
are
says
classy ladies.
like,
blah blah blah.
deviled eggs are good. Quinn the Cultist says so, and they
Yeah,
are.
Deviled eggs are awesome.
Yeah, they're absolutely awesome. I'm surprised that you don't like pickled. So you don't like pickled like mini cucumbers, like pickles. You don't like them either?
Nope, gross.
Really?
Yep. Those are the devil's dildos.
I thought those were dragon dildos.
I don't know. I've never seen a dragon, so I can't tell you what their dildos collections look like.
Far, fill us in on dragon dildos. Far.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse
My parents just came home and I have to deal with that.
All right. Well, I don't have that screwed up right now.
Yeah,
but
I just have to close the door one moment.
that's all right. Jacob, fill us in on dragon dildos.
They fill in dragons.
Come on, you two are the weebs here. You goddamn well know what I'm talking about. You creepy
What, you think
bastards, all of it.
You think I've seen an anime where a dragon shoved a dildo up its ass?
No, you can buy them. Like
What?
you can go to Amazon and find dragon dildos there. They're weird, they're creepy, and you weebs are all into them.
You think I look up
what
shit
bad-
on Amazon when I'm bored?
Don't you
You're
guys
talking
watch
about
that?
bad dragon dildos? Really?
Wait, as anime nerds or whatever, don't you guys watch that cartoon about the anal beads for dragons?
What?
What the hell cartoon is that?
Dragon
Wait,
Ball?
Dragon-
Isn't that what that's about? It's about some dragon trying to get his anal beads back.
Yeah, Pete's actually.
I don't really watch cartoons a lot, so
I don't watch Dragon Ball. So.
Pete brings up a point. Ask Eeyore. Yeah, Eeyore has a collection of the guy from. He has a collection
Oh,
of
yeah.
dragon dildos.
Yeah, he would know.
Oh God.
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Well, 2 points for Eeyore. Good job.
And I love this. I got Quincy. What the fuck is Polly talking about? I didn't make them. I'm simply reporting on what's going on out there in the world.
Why does my life keep coming back to bad dragon dildos? What is this?
I don't know, but
What is
Polly
my
does.
exist-
What is
Polly
that? A
didn't
common
create-
occurrence?
Yes, apparently it is.
Well, see, Polly didn't create dragon dildos, but he has a share in the company. So if you, so if you want to give him money,
Well, okay.
buy a dragon dildo.
All jokes aside, I would have lost out huge there. If somebody had come up to your friendly neighborhood barkeep, as I am, bottle at the ready behind the bar, ready to pour, and someone said, "Hey man, you got money? You want to invest in this dragon dildo idea?" I'd say, "Get the fuck out." I would. I would have passed on the opportunity, thinking no one's gonna fucking buy a dragon dildo, you creepy bastard. And I would have been wrong because they sell. People buy them for. Oh, this will be funny. I'll give it to my friend because she's a weeb. It'll be a good gag gift and so on. Like, who would have thought that actually would have been a functional business? But it worked.
It always amazes me
Yeah,
what
there
people
was-
buy.
There was one person I knew a while back, and this is why I even know what bad dragon dildos are, who for some reason their goal in life was when they got a house, they would have a bad dragon dildo as an ornamental piece, just somewhere in the house.
Jesus.
Don't know why, but that was a thing. So okay.
And Pop-Tarts in chat. Hey, Poppy, welcome to the Noir Bar. And she's like, there's a big section on Pornhub for them? My God.
Yeah,
I
could-
could
Of
totally
course there
believe
would
that.
I could
be.
see if
Yeah,
you
I
had.
could easily believe that.
See, if it's on Pornhub, then it's not that weird anymore.
What were we saying, Jack?
I could see if you had like a big curio cabinet and it was full of little trinkets and shit. You hide a couple of dragon dildos in there to throw people off. Be like, can you find the most interesting item in my cabinet?
Yeah, okay, that would be something I would do, honestly. Just as a joke. Of like have it just somewhere in there and be like have someone do a double take, like, is that what I think? Oh no, it's just an ornamental piece. Oh, okay. But no, this girl that I knew, no, she just straight up wanted a giant one to put in the table.
Is she cute?
I don't really remember, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
have not seen her
that's a
in years.
no.
Was she at least Asian?
No.
Yeah, see, I figured as much. She's probably all fat now. She's like, won't somebody talk to me? And her cat's knocking that dildo off the table.
See, I got to say, Jack, if I was ever at your house and you said, "Can you find the most interesting item in my cabinet?" I wouldn't go look. I'm not like that. Sounds like an invitation to get shot in the back. Like that's like you know-
No, there's just there may be a concealed trap door right in front of there for the ladies.
It sounds like the way Robert Ford got Jesse James. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that picture up on the wall needs straightening, and while I'm at it, I'm just gonna draw my revolver. Pay me no mind. You know? Jesus.
Well, you know, sometimes there's a challenge in life. Sometimes it's just a trap. What can I say?
So, I was talking to Jacob and Far when we were over in Discord there a little while back, and I came across this article from the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
Oh, sweet, you are reading it.
Well, people leave
Polly,
newspapers
before
around
that-
the bar, and you know.
Polly, before that,
Mhm.
apparently you're on Top Chat.
I am on Top Chat, so let me change that.
Yeah, Manic, my sinuses are acting up, so I got a little bit of an issue right now.
Even all this time later, it still annoys me that you have to change to top chat. Or
Yes, it
change to
does.
live chat from top chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, how are you doing, Jack? I hope you didn't bring your cholera to our after-hours speakeasy.
Whatever, I bring what I want.
I
right then.
Oh God. So this article is.
You.
Did you know that the Wall Street Journal has a blog?
You mean the entirety of Wall Street Journal isn't a blog?
Well,
Taking blog analyst to a whole new level.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is an article that caught my attention. Is sexy the new pretty?
What's better than sexy?
I don't even get what that's saying. What's that mean? So this is this entire so-called article on the Wall Street Journal's blog is about them going to a premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival for a film called Sexy Baby. Almost
Those are two words that should never go together.
right. And in this, they end up seeing all of these women that are dressed up, in their opinion, not pretty, but sexy. So therefore, they're asking the question, is sexy the new pretty? And I don't want to read through the whole thing because this is, anyway. Almost exactly 4 years ago, we strolled down a bright pink shag carpet and into a barrage of naked bouncing breasts. The breasts were fake. But the scene, a convention center filled with porn stars, including Rubber Girl and Ron Jeremy, of course, was as real as it gets. Welcome to Exotica Miami Beach, a porn convention brimming with everything you would imagine such a convention would have. Posing porn stars, make your own porn tutorials, complete with live demonstrations, the bang bus parked at a booth, and gawking men toting cameras like tourists on their way to Disney World walked by snapping pictures. Okay. Though it sounds like a great excuse, we, Jill, a journalist, and Rona, a Miami Herald staff photographer, what?
They sound awful already.
And this is what it just goes on like this. And what kills me about this, how much does that sound like a news article from today? Self-referentials throughout. We went here. Here's what I saw. Descriptions of the surroundings. You know, Jack, you've done English, right? Like at the narrative takeover of journalism, where it all becomes a self-narrative on behalf of the journalist. This is intentionally a blog. But in terms of style, it reads as indistinguishable from their hard news articles.
Well, first of all, was it hard and throbbing news? And second of all, I mean, it was a porn convention, and you threw in hard. It's probably intentionally crafted that way so that they can worm in more opinion material, because journalism has really gone downhill in the last 10 years. It does read more like a blog every day by a bunch of like failed would-be best-selling authors, because everybody's got the great American novel just hidden inside them, and they've been working on it for 10 years, man. You don't understand the struggle. I take these writing jobs to pay for my dream. You know, that sort of thing.
Wow. That was oddly specific, Jack. Have you met some of these people?
I've met a lot of these people, and they're fucking obnoxious. And they're lazy, too, because otherwise their book would have been done like 9 years ago.
I don't...
I'm trying to think of that one guy that wrote that book that Down the Rabbit Hole did a video on, just because that's the first thing that comes to my head.
Who? Time Cube guy?
Jack's description. No, the guy that wrote the book. He kept having arguments
He kept having...
with like everyone that criticized him.
Yeah, that's most of these so-called writers. They're a bunch of pretentious dickwads that hang out at Starbucks all day and accomplish nothing.
Empress Teresa, that was it.
Okay, and I don't think I've seen this down... Chat, if you have... Or our guests here at the Noir Bar. If you haven't watched Down the Rabbit Hole with... Oh, shit. What's his name? Alex Noonson? Frederick Noonson, I mean?
Frederick Noonson.
Frederick? He's got a really Scandinavian-esque name. Perhaps German. I don't...
Yeah, that's the video, though. But, yeah, no, there was that dude that wrote that book called Empress Teresa, and he claimed it was like... How many years was it? It was something beyond 10 years.
That he was in the process of doing all this?
It was 40 years, he claims.
Jesus
Or
Christ.
something like that. And it turned into that.
This is sounding
Just
more and more
him
like Time
defending
Cube.
it on Amazon.
Oh, I know the guy you mean. He wrote about Princess Teresa or whatever.
Yeah, Empress Teresa,
The-
and it was like,
Yes, I do remember
oh
this
my
guy.
god. Yeah, it's like dead on what Jack was describing.
How many books do you have now, Jack, in total?
I have 7 technically on the market, and then I've got 4.5 completely finished, except for revision. One has to go through 2 revisions, otherwise I'd have 5.
In short, fuck people, just get on it. If you want to write,
Just just fucking do it.
shouldn't
Nothing's
take-
ever gonna be perfect. Know when to quit.
It
Yeah.
shouldn't take you 40 years to write a book, is what we're saying.
It shouldn't take you 2 years to write a book. It's just, I mean, fuck. The average book is 200 pages. If you do 2 pages a day, you can have that done in a year with revisions.
Milkman Dan says, I'm a writer. Okay, I write in chat sections of live chats. I've written a book. You bastard. You suck. I'm like, oh, he's a writer. Here, let me read what he's... Oh, you fuck.
Well, he's not wrong. He does write a lot in chat.
Yes, he does. Yes, he
Yeah.
does. I got suckered into that good. That was funny. I don't know. It took me 1.5 years to write my master's thesis. And that was...
Yeah, but that involves a lot more research. You're not writing like the adventures of Skippy the fucking Wonder Frog or anything.
Is that one of your books waiting to come out? Skippy the Wonder Frog?
No, but it is now.
Actually, Ryan Walters...
For Jack's manifesto.
Yeah, he's asking about your... You're not writing a manifesto, are you, Jack?
Not that you know of.
Well...
Next Elliot Rodger in the making.
I'm too lazy for that. A lot of work.
You're too
Fair
lazy
enough.
for that. But you have how many books now?
And most of them aren't very long, because I technically took one book and made it into 4.
Is that retails?
Yeah, retails 2, 3, and 4 were originally one really long book.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, it's Jack's stories of working retail have been made into Retails, which is a clever title, and we've been pressuring him into doing some short little excerpt blurb reads. And Jack's hard to convince of anything, honestly. I've come to find that out, and so that hasn't worked out.
I'm old and stubborn, and I have a lot of other shit to do, so doing one more set of videos takes a lot of effort.
No, we said do it on live streams with us. It was Monkey and I who were trying to talk you into this, remember?
Yeah, it seems like a lot extra.
All right.
I'd have to find my notes and everything, because I took notes when I was running the comic shop. Man, there were so many fucking weirdos. It was kind of great for that because I got a lot of material out of it, but it's mostly only funny to me, and I'm kind of an asshole,
Yeah,
so
I
people
get
are
that
always like,
feeling.
"You're kind of a douchebag. This book makes you sound mean."
Yeah, it's the book.
I know what you mean with the stories, though, 'cause there's one story from where I worked last that I find absolutely hilarious, but everyone I tell the story to, they just kind of stare at me like, yes.
Right?
Mhm. And it's like, I don't understand. How is this only funny to me? What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah, it's like, dude thought that one car suddenly transformed into this giant other car of the same color. Come on.
Yeah, that's.
Like it was bad because obviously the dude wasn't all there, but it was still that thing of like, are you sure?
I had
So-
a guy tell me that he was able to travel, like be in 2 places at once. Things like that. It was. So I get your pain.
Oh my god.
And I
Yeah.
worked at a calendar stand at the time. So
This was just a grocery shop. This is just a grocery store.
yeah, grocery stores are the type of places where you go to meet a variety of individuals that you would avoid in other places.
Yep. Although in saying that, I still only have a handful of weird stores that came from that place. Otherwise, it was generally normal, which is odd considering where I live.
Oh,
You would
by the
think
way-
more drugged up weirdos would be coming in.
By the way, Far, you already got 2 people saying that they want to see a Skippy the Wonder Frog piece from you.
I'm
I don't even
giving
know
you all
now.
kinds of ideas lately.
Okay, let me...
Skippy the Wonder Frog.
You can't
Oh my God.
you can't kick Polly this time. I mean I'd love to get kicked and all because I know everyone's a big fan of it, but if I leave, that means the bar gets shut down, unfortunately. So
It may have meant physically in real life.
well,
That's just rude.
you don't want to kick the barkeep. Keeps a shotgun behind the bar. Let me see here. I want to display capture. Not that. Jesus. Got that fucking Inception thing working here. Okay. Hey, Jack.
What's up?
I was, so here's Time Cube. You ever looked into Time Cube?
Oh God.
Jesus.
I think I've heard of it a few times, but I've never actually spent time looking for it.
Well, in 1884, Meridian Time personnel met in Washington to change Earth time.
Jesus.
First,
Did Medicare do a video on this?
I think he did.
he might have. I honestly think sometimes he just watches down the rabbit hole and like, oh, I can do a little side video of this.
Well, probably that too. But
I might have seen down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole was wildly deep on this. I love that, like, the oldest words in this ongoing, what do you call it, Far? Because it just, like, guys, look, it just keeps going. Like, it just, look at this.
That it reminds me of that one website that no longer exists, and I'm very sad about it. Where the guy was convinced the sun was a cube and lizard people were a thing. It was like truthism.com, and I miss it.
Upon Earth of Quadrants, a boring adult crime versus youth. Supports life of integration. One life educated are most dumb. Not one human except dead one. Man is paired. 2 half for self. One of God is only 1/4 of God.
Yeah,
And
it is.
this is
just
awesome, apparently.
It just goes on and on and on. Like it's great stuff. And what I love is the seemingly, I don't know what to call it, like incomprehensible way he shifts colors and fonts and upper and lower case and there's wingdings in here and oh yeah, the belly button. Yeah, remember that, Far? The belly button logic?
Oh God.
Every man is born of a woman. Belly button is the signature of your personal creator. I believe her name Mama.
That comes from an old. There's an old sort of mind game, a practice thing that they would challenge you in school. Is how can you tell if you meet Adam and Eve? And it's because they don't have belly buttons. Is the correct answer.
Right. I guess that would make sense. Yeah.
So.
Well,
What's this called? Time Cube?
Time Cube, yeah.
Time Cube, yeah.
It's fucked up.
Pastor told his flock that
Yeah.
God created all of them. Truth was that they all had mama made by belly buttons. Church was full of liar.
Full of liar!
Full of liar.
My favorite part of the whole time cube thing is the fact that there was some random Australian guy that found this, fully believed it, and decided to just, casually travel to America to meet the guy.
It would be
Yeah.
an Australian.
Yeah, just, his one follower. The one guy that believed.
Well,
And
there's
yet the
always
guy
a
was still an
friend.
asshole to him.
Okay. So we like our drunkards here at the Noir Bar, of course, because I am one, and But I think this woman here in the New York Post, I heard this story covered a couple of times, so I looked it up. It's a Connecticut woman. She was arrested for drunk driving twice in the same 24-hour period.
Well, she had to drown her sorrows somehow.
Yeah, I guess. A Connecticut woman was arrested Saturday. This was last Saturday, while intoxicated and headed to the liquor store. Yes, there you go. It's that dedication I like to hear about. She was headed to the liquor store shortly after, where she was arrested again for the same crime. Ellen Needleman O'Neill, 64, crashed a 2012 Lexus sedan into a parked car around 2:30.
I'm sorry, this woman was 64?
Four.
Jesus Christ.
So this woman is in her 60s and she's still driving around getting arrested for shit like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's young at heart, Far.
Oh, well, if she's young at heart.
I don't
That's
know.
how she stays young. See, some people they hang around younger people, or they enter their kids in like one of those creepy pageants. This lady she just drinks with the best of them.
I don't know. How young does this woman look to you, Jack? Jesus.
Well, she's young at heart, not in physical demeanor.
Well, that much is definitely clear. Lady. Anyway, so she crashed her Lexus sedan into a parked car at 2:30 p.m. Day drinking. Fuck yeah. And the police said they could smell alcohol in the woman's breath. No shit.
You don't say.
Yeah, exactly. She was charged with, hold on, Needleman O'Neill then failed a field sobriety test, and later tests showed that she had a blood alcohol level of 0.23, nearly triple the legal limit. She was charged with a DUI and possession of a controlled substance for a painkiller that was discovered in her purse. Holy shit, the lady had pills too. That is dedication to a lifestyle right there.
Well, see, alcohol's a depressant, so she needed some uppers to keep her going.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She ain't looking too hot.
That's really great.
She's seen better days.
6 hours after being released, Needleman O'Neill headed to a liquor store. Cops pulled her over and brought her to the station house, where her blood alcohol level that time was 0.09, still above the legal limit. She's scheduled to appear in court on September 17th.
Man.
Oh, come on. I got to appreciate somebody who's just going to get to that fucking liquor store come hell or high noon, you know?
That is dedication. I'll give her that.
You want to hear about the judge that was suspended for shitting in a trash can?
I think that's fairly obvious at this point.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, I do.
she died at 63 today. You heartless bastards.
Such a loss. Was
Yes.
it because she couldn't shit in trash cans anymore?
Well, there she is. There's the lady. A Winchester judge whose appointment sparked controversy and who was suspended for using her courtroom trash can as I thought they meant in a park.
No, I assumed it was one that was under the bench or something. And she's like, "Grr." Not like one down by the stenographer where she gets up in the middle of a trial, walks down by the stenographer, and just drops trow and starts pooping right in front of everyone. Doesn't wipe, pulls her pants up, and goes back up on top of the bench, and they're all like, "What the fuck was that?" Oh, yeah, she looks like she drove a mobility scooter to court.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Mhm.
That's a mobility scooter face if there ever was one, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's
Cats miss her dearly. Survived by Mr. Meow Face and Poofy McGee.
so it using her courtroom trash as an emergency toilet because her weight and medical problems has died, according to court documents. Really? Weight doesn't kill you? I've been told repeatedly that that's just living your truth. Why wasn't she living her truth and surviving into extended old age?
Living your truth sometimes means dying early. Because nature is sexist as well.
White Plains City Court Judge Elizabeth Schallenberger. Let's go with Schallenberger. Passed away on Thursday. Her lawyer wrote in a letter addressed to the judge overseeing her discrimination lawsuit. She was 63. Schollenberger sued the New York State Unified Court System in 2018 following her suspension from the bench, which she claimed violated her protected status as a disabled person. Because she was so disabled she couldn't get to a toilet, that kind of thing?
No. See, some people are so disabled that they have a fetish for pooping in trash cans.
Okay.
And it's discriminatory to be like, look, fatty, you got to use a toilet like everyone else. No, I don't, because I'm a big heffalump and toilets are far away.
Let me live my truth.
Yeah. Let me live my truth.
Schollenberger, whose judicial appointment sparked accusations of cronyism in the first place, suffered from a litany of ailments, including hypertension, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and a fungal infection in her lower left leg stemming from a 1989 fall between the gap of a subway car and the station platform.
Ooh, all those suck pretty bad. But,
Yeah, man.
there's no reason to poop in a trash can.
Well,
If
hold
you can't
on.
do your job, retire.
I
Her-
love the.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say I love the thing on the right. It's just see all communists.
The thing on the right says see all...
Like just kind of there.
And columnists.
No shit. My dyslexic ass read communist.
Well, you're probably not wrong, but they're disguising
No.
them as columnists.
Yeah, it's not...
They just blend together.
Hey, P-Dog's in chat.
Hey, P-Dog Knight, how's it going?
Hey, P-Dog.
Welcome to the Noir Bar. Her regimen of medications, quote, frequently cause stress to her gastrointestinal system, Jack. Requiring her to have quick access to the restroom, Jack.
Yeah, well, if you can't do your job, don't do it anymore.
Including a fateful day in 2017 when she was alone in the courtroom and was overcome by a sudden urgent need to use the facilities. Quote, in distress, she defecated in a plastic-lined waste paper basket.
What?
If you had enough time to drop trow and get the trash can ready for your present, then you probably had enough time to run to the back room and
Maybe not. She didn't want to get caught halfway in case it didn't work out, maybe. Well, she then removed and tied the plastic liner and double bagged it for disposal. But a small stain about the size of a quarter was visible on the carpet. Oh, no.
Oh,
She doesn't even have
God.
good aim.
Oh,
What were her ailments again? Like the real ones, not the leg injury, but she had what? Hypertension and something else?
chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Which one of those makes you have to poop really bad?
Well, it was her regimen of medications that caused the urgent need to poop.
Oh, well, you need to see your doctor then.
Get this, though. Here's the part I love. The incident caused a, quote, hysterical reaction from court staffers who strung up yellow police tape and went to clean up in hazmat suits.
First of all, that's funny, but probably a bit overkill, but I would have done that too. Second of all, that is a biohazard. So you do have
Yeah,
to have PPE to clean that up, or OSHA will jump all over you. And oh man, that's fucking disgusting. Plus, if I worked in that court and I knew that lady, I'd be like, yeah, I am putting on a fucking hazmat suit, or I am not going in there to clean that. You can fire me and I will sue you because that's disgusting. Look at her. Moo.
Well, I don't understand. Like, if it required, I mean, it was a little bit of overkill, but if that kind of response in any degree is called for, the entire city of San Francisco needs to be quartered off, man.
No, it's just because she's so gross. I bet she smelled too. And whoever worked there that had to do this was like, fuck it, I'm doing this my way. Screw you people. And I am not getting anywhere. If I have to pretend that I'm a farmer for 10 minutes, no, fucking going all out. I'm telling you, this person had a sense of humor and was awesome for doing so. Because that's probably is not the first time that actually happened. It was just the first time anybody said anything about it.
Okay, I'm just gonna little idea here. Why weren't you wearing an adult diaper?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
if you
them for incontinence or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, if you knew you had this problem, why weren't you wearing it? I mean, you're a big fat woman. It's not like you're going to be wearing some skin tight cocktail dress that everyone's going to see you're wearing in a diaper. Like, what does it matter?
Polly, it depends.
Oh, fuck off, Jack.
God damn it.
Oh shit. I do love, by the way. See, this is what opinion pieces are supposed to be based around here. See the communists, as Jacob would call them over on the side here. The columnists. It's Central Park is full of signal snubbing cyclists who need to be stopped. Did Trump cause them?
Of course you did.
In the era of Trump.
I love that so much. I mean, if anything, that's what columns should read like, right? Like, it's like issues like, hey, Central Park is full of these people that don't give a fuck. You nearly get run over 10 times in a day. But I mean, you read a side column from anything, it's like, how the cis-het male patriarchy is destroying life as we know it on this planet. Like, I mean, for real. Go look at the op-eds in Washington Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal. They don't write on local issues anymore, or an average opinion that isn't trying to virtue signal to your other 6-figure fucking 1% friends. Am I right? Am I right here?
It's all about the virtue signal. Is it a crime to run over a cyclist that's in your way and being annoying?
Is it a crime?
Yeah. Like, isn't that just public service?
God damn it.
I mean, can you take that off your community service time? I'm just curious.
I don't think that they allow you to kill
Oh,
people
damn it.
out of annoyance.
Okay, well, I gotta go make some changes. I'll be right back.
You've killed people out of annoyance, or you've got plans set in motion to do so?
No. My lawyer says no.
What else does your lawyer say?
I mean, mostly not to talk to people.
Well, you don't
Or-
do that anyway.
Or go out for late night walks and follow people around and look in their windows. You know, he's full of all kinds of limiting advice.
Oh, RVA Dars here. How's it going? Good morning to you as well. It's not quite morning. It's still the late wee hours of the eve, in my
It's
opinion.
6 a.m., dude. It's morning.
Well, not for heavy drinkers who haven't been to bed yet.
Functional
Alcoholic.
alcoholism is not an excuse, dude.
And Jared makes a good point. Don't forget to like the stream. By all means, please do. And if I had any competence whatsoever, I would have probably put my Streamlabs in the description. But
I've been putting it in the chat last couple of minutes.
nice. That's awesome.
See,
Yeah.
there it is again.
Sweet.
I even listed you first because it's your stream.
Oh, that's goddamn thoughtful of you.
And if Far would throw her stupid T-shirt link in there, I'd add that on there too.
Oh wow.
Wow, is right. Holy shit.
Jesus.
How can you
really-
do? Wow.
There it is. Now I can add that on. Thank you. Jacob, do you have a shilling site?
I did make a Streamlabs, but I never thought I'd actually use it.
So you're gonna give it to me to include
I'm-
here, right?
Now I'm getting there. I just have to log back in because I haven't used it.
Speaking of
Like
which,
a
really
month.
quick, Duck Dog over on Streamlabs says, "Excuse me, barkeep, I will have my coffee cocktail, 2 ounces of cold brew, 1 ounce of rye, and a dash of bitters." That doesn't sound bad at all. That doesn't sound bad at all. Is anyone else a fan of a White Russian here? I'm a fan of a White Russian. If you're a coffee,
Never had one.
really, if you're even remotely a fan
Never
of
had one.
coffee, yeah,
No.
it's definitely worth trying. Coffee liqueur, vodka, milk, or cream. I like them. Traditional recipe calls for using cream. I just use milk. It's fine. It's too thick otherwise. But rye and coffee and bitters. Wow, that's a drinking drink. And you know what the coffee's for, right?
To pep you up.
Yeah, so you keep drinking. I mean, what the hell do you think that people came
terrible
up with?
idea.
What's that?
Sounds like a terrible idea.
No, it's a great idea. You've never had any kind of energy drink mixes, a grenade,
No, I avoid those for reasons.
Jaeger bombs, nothing.
No, I avoid those like the plague.
Oh yeah, Gilcado says White Russian's okay, but I prefer a proper espresso martini. I've only had one espresso martini in my life, and it was fucking outstanding. It, yeah, it was good. Because at that bar, they just didn't use. I went to a bar once where I saw them ripping open little packets of instant espresso mix for their espresso martinis.
And he said, "I will have none of this. Good day, sir." And
That-
adjusted his smoking jacket and walked right out of that. I do not abide the sloppiness of these low-end plebeian bars.
Are you trying to tell me that if you were paying, oh God, I don't like a fucking exotic cocktail like that, they're probably charging $12 for it, the scumbags, and they're not even willing to fucking brew press through a proper espresso maker, a proper whatever the fuck steam machine thing.
I don't drink, so I wouldn't do that to begin with. So, what a waste of money.
Yeah, a White Russian. How many times have I got to tell you to stop ordering mail order brides? I'll do what I want with my money. You do what you want with yours.
Right.
So this is exactly where your Streamlabs donations are going, folks. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Streamlabs, Tyrai over there says the end is coming. Polly finally has a Streamlabs. Yeah, well, much appreciated though. I do. I know that some people were really looking for me to get a Streamlabs, and I ran into a lot of a situation where it was best for me to go ahead and do it. Finances aren't the best, and no, I won't be spending it on liquor because my finances are far from the best right now. I mean, I'm used to being a broke grad student, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm surprised how many people are invoking apocalyptic imagery related to my Streamlabs actually happening. You know, the seventh seal is broken. Oh my God, the end is nigh. Repent your sins. Like, if Polly's got a Streamlabs, surely we're gonna die soon.
Well, it's no, I got nothing nice to say. So
You took too fucking long.
I did?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Well,
Nobody thought you were actually going to do it.
yeah, and you never thought that. Hey, Jack. Remember when I was telling you about this guy, Jacob, how he said that there's no way we'd ever keep comic book curation going on it at a regular schedule?
we don't keep it on a regular schedule. It's like an hour late every time.
He didn't think we were going to keep it going at all. I mean, we're.
Hold on. I never said you weren't going to keep it going at all. I just said it wouldn't be a regular schedule.
That's ambiguous. Your statement was something to, yeah, and let's see how long you stick with
Really
this.
to incriminate Jacob, Jesus.
Look, no, Jacob, we keep it always around Wednesday-ish,
Yeah, Wednesday-ish.
sometimes Sunday, and generally an hour and a half late. Doesn't matter, we still have stuck with it for, 60 episodes now? I'd say that's a big step up.
I will admit it is a step up from what I expected from Polly a while ago.
Well, thanks, man. That warms my heart, let me tell you.
No,
Hey,
it doesn't.
anytime.
He just basically said to you, you don't sweat much for a fat chick.
Hey, man, we're well over a year. What are we at? Episode 62, 63, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, and we've missed a bunch of weeks. We didn't do one Christmas week, and then...
That was your fault.
Yeah, no, it was, and because I was out of town, and then there was times people were sick, so we skipped a bunch of weeks. So yeah, we're absolutely well over a year, man. We're happy with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Duck Dog asked if I ever tried coffee brandy, twice the alcohol of Kahlua, and even more sugar. I like the idea of twice the alcohol of Kahlua. I don't really know about the twice the sugar though. I mean, you can always add sugar if you wanted more. That sounds sweet. Sounds good though. I'm curious. Let's see. Ryan Walter says, get a grill with your newfound wealth and join Shoe-On Head's rap group. No.
Oh yeah, she did a rap video.
Yeah, every lyric I wrote would be about what a annoying, ridiculous farce of a fool Greg is. So it just, no.
He's fat.
I mean,
That's the whole rap.
I guess that's the whole rap.
No,
This is
he's fat.
Greg's
This
fat,
is
and I'm willing to
Trevor who's
accept
fat
it.
over and over again.
I'm really hot for
Yeah.
dad bods. It's fine. Leave me alone. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, be like, Greg's fat, fatty, fat. Look at Chupperlocks walking down the street in his armor like a weirdo.
Cumberlock?
God.
That's why I don't do hip hop. My new album's coming. I made a joke at the laundromat because this weirdos like to
Chumberlocks
talk to
and
me.
the Three Jacks?
What?
Chumberlocks and the Three Jacks?
No, but that's the new album title. So people like to talk to me for some reason because my pheromones smell like Twinkies.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a freak magnet. So I ended up having to talk to this weirdo guy while I'm waiting on my laundry one time. And he starts rambling on and on about how he's into hip hop and all this. And he's got an album coming out. And I looked him straight in the face and said, "Oh, yeah, I got an album coming out too. I am also a hip hop artist." Now, if you've ever seen me, which you probably haven't, that would be a clear and obvious lie. Because I look like a comic book nerd. And he was like, "Oh, really?" And his girlfriend chimes in, "Oh, what kind of rap do you do?" There are other kinds of rap. Oh yeah, there's like this kind and this kind. And I'm like, I was just joking. Oh, you should really consider it. It's really the way to get ahead in the world. No, getting a job is how you get ahead in the world.
Getting a job is how you get. Well, okay. I don't know. I got no problem with Shu. I noticed that Armored Shill had another video up the other day. I am not only have I never followed the guy. The majority of videos that I've watched have been clips of other people showing his stuff. And from that, like 2 years ago, I went and watched a bunch of his videos. And I was like, so this guy is another atheist clone, like vocal anti-theist. I'm going to attack the smallest country church that says harebrained stupid shit and act like I'm so smart because I can critique these country bumpkins. Like, yeah, good job, Greg. Good job. Why don't you show me how much balls you have? Why don't you show everybody how big your fucking balls are and go after, I don't know, Islam or Jews? Because they have similar beliefs to the country Christians that you go after, but they're not quite the same kind of soft target, are they?
I think it's kind of rude to bring up his balls because he hasn't seen those in like a decade.
Hey, he can have one of those man girdles.
He's got a myrtle?
Yeah, it would explain those stress press marks against his buttons, right? It's the girdle on the inside causing the fabric compression.
Oh, I figured he was about to explode. He's like one of those creatures that can explode and reform repeatedly. So when he gets too fat, he just explodes.
I don't know. Anybody who's listened to me or known me for long enough knows that that's like vocal anti-theist. It's just the lowest, lamest hanging fruit ever. And they've always bugged the shit out of me, from TJ Kirk onto every single fucking clone of the guy.
Because they're all lazy.
Yes, and so many of them live up to the stereotype of the fedora tipping neckbeard atheist.
Yeah.
Is that, how can you not see that you live up to that? But I'm an individual, and somehow my lack of belief leads me to believe all of these other political things, because they talk about, having such a disagreement with identitarianism and having like-minded political beliefs in terms of rugged individualism and small government and so forth. And it's like, and this all stems from your lack of belief in supernatural occurrences. I don't know. It just, I think you are really angry at your church upbringing life, or you are a smarmy cocksucker that just needs something to point down at and say, haha, aren't they stupid? And that strikes me as weak as fuck.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Yeah.
Now, Polly, is it low-hanging fruit if the fruit's on the ground rotting?
I remember one time a guy took like a rant on that like level of what you just said. It's like, you talk about TJ Kirk, and he says that guy doesn't even pick low-hanging fruit. He digs in the ground and digs up fossilized fruit that fell to the earth like 5,000 years or 100,000 years ago. And it's like, yeah, that sounds about right. Fossilized fruit picker. I mean, just the guy repeats lines and everybody's so fucking stupid but him. And Greg, what kills me is that, like I said, that video came up in my recommends. He's doing the same thing. He's still doing the same material. And I guess I should say in the end, hey, you've still got an audience for your material. Ah, salute, good for you. But I don't know. There's something in me when it comes to that genre that I'm like, no, fuck those guys. I don't want to be good natured about it. Fuck you. I,
Well, it's such a dead topic at this point.
I
I mean, I get it if people like what you do in that regard, and you still pull an audience from it, then fine. But could you do something new,
yeah.
or at least a little more interesting? Because I tried to watch those videos a while ago, and it didn't take long for them to get very boring.
Especially because they want to attack it on such a I'm a high-minded intellectual level, but I'm not willing to, like, I don't care if you've got a formal education in something. You want to crack a textbook on it? Are you even willing to read the Wikipedia page on the subject? And Armored Shill has demonstrated again and again, I am perfectly willing to not talk about something because my position isn't to be informed on something, it's to be a skeptic. So all I need to do is sit in the middle and say, no, I don't think you're wrong. Oh, I'm expressing doubt on this. And somehow that casts him as a high-minded intellectual by saying,
Well, I mean,
no.
he's very high-minded. You clone.
I,
No, first of all, well, let's just admit the truth. His job at this point is to make sure that she doesn't leave him for somebody more attractive. Because, what did Brittany Venti call him? Preggery? Because he looks pregnant.
Something like that.
that's fucking mean. Holy shit.
It is, but it's not inaccurate. Now, to be fair, I don't find Shu to be all that entertaining. It's just not my sense of humor. I understand that she's fairly good at YouTubing or whatever. It's just not my thing. But I would have sex with her.
Would you?
And that would be about the standard that Greg has to work from, is to keep somebody like me from trying to steal her away from him just so I could have sex with her once or twice.
I don't. Wow. Well, I would have to
admit-
imagine that he feels a little,
Inadequate?
yeah, scored outside of
Gross.
his league kind of thing. You know.
He should. He's totally out of his league.
Real quick, Gokado asks, can we direct Streamlabs donations to specific things, like you buying a specific booze? I'm not going to tell you no. You can buy your barkeep whatever kind of drinks you want. And actually, it'd be nice to buy something other than bargain basement bourbon. But in any case, oh yeah, and over on Streamlabs, RV, help me out, Jack. What did RVA Dar say he wanted to be called? Just RVA Dar?
I thought so.
Okay, I'm so bad with names, y'all. Sorry about that. Oh, he says, here's a tip, barkeep. Well, and I appreciate that. Your friendly neighborhood bartender appreciates it. And you can bail me out when I get arrested for illegally selling Far's father's still booze.
Yeah, that Zeus me brand. Come on.
Dad Zeus me brand. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Far's father is an official, he runs his own still. He's fucking cool as shit. I like it.
And I'm pretty sure it's not moonshine, but whatever.
I think a lot of people, when they say moonshine, sometimes they mean illegally made white lightning, like just clear distillate. And then other people mean, no, it has to be at the highest ABV, alcohol by volume, that it can be, where you haven't watered it down even slightly. I encountered...
I'm actually not entirely sure what he makes, to be perfectly honest.
No.
Because I don't really inquire with it. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's a thing he does. I'll just leave him to it.
Johnny Bonsacco... Sorry, Jack, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just about to respond. Johnny Bonsacco said, Polly, so you're a dickhead because you believe what you believe. No, I was saying that Armored Shill is a dickhead because his entire premise is based upon criticizing people from the foundation of I don't believe, which is odd. Because how is that the foundation of a political belief? I have no belief in supernatural occurrences. Okay. How does that lead you to... Well, because I'm a skeptic about all things. If you're a global skeptic about all things, then you must be doubting that you're actually seeing what you're seeing and hearing what you're seeing. That's what global skepticism means, the way that Rene Descartes did it on his Cartesian foundationalism in his first meditations. I'm going to doubt that everything that I see is false, and I can't trust in it. So is there anything I can trust in with that level of doubt? I'm willing to bet that would be a Wikipedia 101 level conversation that Armored Shill couldn't even engage in. But
If he were truly skeptical, he would be.
I like skeptical. Let's go with that.
Put your skepticals on, boys.
It's really early in the morning. Just woke up. He would be skeptical of the narrative that we're being taught because they're clearly hiding the ancient aliens that created us, and he would at least look into that in a fair way, which he does.
Guys, he made a multi-part video undermining and skeptically criticizing flat earthers. Are you mad? Like, these people are harmless and foolish and nobody buys it. And he was actually trying to come up with his own original ways of proving the earth is round. Like, really? Guy on YouTube making half-assed videos straight out of 2016 still in 2019? You're going to come up with new ways of proving a round spherical global earth. Really? I don't know. Just blows my mind he wastes his time with this shit.
As somebody that uses Windows Movie Maker from 2008, I have to defend the video quality. So leave his video quality alone. He's doing just fine. It's way more advanced than mine. But flat Earth is easy to prove. You look up, you see the moon. That's actually the end of the cork that is in God's terrarium. Proven. Flat Earth is real. Right? That's how that works, right?
Right.
I can't see the curve of the Earth, so that doesn't exist either.
And the thing I don't really get is Talek says here to hang out. That's what the Noir Bar is for, man. Welcome. Come on in. Pull up a chair. I don't get why people want to criticize flat earthers. Like, first of all, no one takes them seriously. Second of all, they're harmless. And I don't care what Neil deGrasse Tyson says. Self-promoting duplicitous hack that he is, with no actual contributions to the scientific field, though he purports to speak on behalf of them. He's a self-promoting douchebag. How many scientists do you know that have employed a PR and publicist firm? He has. He has an agent, an entertainment agent, to book him on all the late night talk shows he goes on, etc., etc., etc. And it's like, oh well, he speaks on behalf of on behalf of science. When there's actual people that could credibly speak on behalf of science, that have made actual contributions to the body of knowledge, that have actual deep papers that took them years to write because of the research, that have been peer-reviewed and actually contain useful information. Well, this guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, goes on late-night talk shows to do off the top of his head slam poetry raps criticizing B.O.B., some SoundCloud half-assed rapper who talked about the world being flat. You're a pathetic, lame entertainer who couldn't hack it in the world of science. So you decided to pursue entertainment instead. Why criticize these people? They're Neil deGrasse Tyson said, well, we can't let them destroy actual knowledge. This is actually anti-learning what they're doing. Yeah, but there's always going to be idiots who are going to believe false bullshit. You're justifying wasting your fucking time with this. That's my opinion, anyway.
To answer your question, Ebony, Greg makes basically the same kind of content he made when he started. He took not even a break really when he was actually doing the talking about the social justice people. He was still doing that same type of content. Now he's gone back to just exclusively doing that, I believe.
Yeah, Midnight in Exile says Neil deGrasse Tyson is famous because white people think black people can't do science, and he panders to that. That's a hot point, man. Shit, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. That's rough. I think Jacob's right, Ebony, that he does do basically the same kind of content. You know what? He started doing stuff because, like, really, Chew on Head and Armored Shill are like a celebrity couple, that sort of thing. They started doing movie reviews and stuff, and they got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views and stuff like that. There's your lane, dude. Right there. Introducing your non-geek girlfriend who knows nothing about Star Wars. It's the first time she's ever seen it in her life, and you're introducing her to this, and it's all cute and cuddly, and all the people that show up to see Chew and the kind of relationship she's in while she makes videos of actual substance. Compared to yours, Greg. That's what you're there for. That's your
See-
lane, buddy.
That's the funniest thing about Greg is that I think most of the people who like him only like him for his Armored Media videos because he's doing it with Shu and because it's about movies and not irrelevant bullshit.
Oh, but he's so important and smart. He's so smart.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Jacob,
Um,
seriously, if you and your girl were just like people were into watching you guys talk about movies, are you going to say, no, fuck no, I need to do my important content that is really just about making you feel smart? Or would you do the fucking movie reviews? Like, you see what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not a total dumbass.
I mean, I'm not even insulting him when I say that. It's like you fell and tripped over ass backwards into a complete different genre than what you were doing before. It's successful as fuck. And you're still trying to do content that was only good 4 years ago and wasn't even then because you were connected with people like, I don't know, whoever made up the skeptosphere back then. Dave Cullen, who's not even an atheist anymore. Sargon, who doesn't want to talk about the subject anymore. Because like you said, Jacob, he thinks it's dead. Like, what's more to talk about? I've made up my mind about it. Moving on.
Well, that's really all it is to it. That's the reason that people typically don't make those kinds of videos anymore, because it's a dead topic. Even with whatever life it may have had in the first place. And I don't know why it was in life in the first place. I mean, you know, nobody cares.
Edgy boy shit was big back in the day, though, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Far, you remember that when there was like, you know, it was edgy to do atheist shit because it's like, fuck you, mom and dad. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's still edgy. It's just nobody cares.
Yeah.
Well, there's only so much that you can have before people get bored with it because you've covered everything. How many videos can you actually milk out of that topic?
Well,
Couple dozen?
I will say this.
Maybe.
Whatever TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheists, whatever his trick is, whatever his vibe is, personally, I find it cringy as hell. But there's no denying the guy's got an audience for his material because he still pulls in hundreds of thousands of views on his videos. He went, I want to spread my wings and do social commentary because the guy's a pretty leftist. He's a pretty progressive liberal. You know what I mean? He wanted to do political commentary. I'm going to rebrand as TJ Kirk, like my real name. I'm not going to go by the Amazing Atheist anymore. And it didn't work out for him. So now he's back to being the Amazing Atheist. And there's still people looking to consume that content. I just don't ever think Armored Skeptic was ever very good at it because he's not that smart of a guy. And he's not that charismatic of a guy. I mean, maybe that's what Amazing Atheist has going for him. He's charismatic in some weird pothead, fedora tipping kind of way.
Is he really, though?
I don't think so, but he gets the views some fucking how.
I don't understand that one either. I just find most of these guys to be very angry and kind of boring. If you want to sit around and complain because you know your parents made you go to church once a week for 10 years, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I got my own personal problems to deal with, and listening to you whine about people that you think are oppressing others through their beliefs is just not exactly high on my list until they start exploding.
Ebony asks who's vaping. That's fucking Far. She doesn't pay attention to
I
etiquette.
don't vape.
What?
It's Far. It's fine. No one's outing you here. No one's judging you. The Noir Bar is open to everyone, including vapors. It's fine.
That's you, and we all know it.
I will not admit to.
No, I don't. We had a whole conversation about this before.
We just talked about this a few hours ago.
Who did?
We did.
Who?
Oh my god.
I wasn't there for this. I don't know who you were talking to, but it wasn't me. Anyway,
Oh
I was here cleaning up the bar for opening. I don't know who you were talking to.
Sure. Yeah, you totally didn't tell the story of what was that? Cinema vaping, right?
Yeah, cinema.
Right.
You don't
Totally
vape at movies, do you, Far? Holy shit,
I don't know, Polly.
that is
Do
so thoughtless. Don't you care about the other moviegoers?
Oh, that's rude.
Yeah,
I don't know,
man.
Polly. Don't you?
I could see poly vaping in a movie.
Zombie Teddy says, didn't TJ shove a banana up his butt? Yes, and he will never
Oh,
live it
yeah.
down, it seems.
Well,
That
you do
happens.
something that insanely dumb,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
For a woman, too. I mean, that's the when you're, yeah, that's pretty bad. When you oil up your butt in front of a camera and shove a banana up there, it's pretty memorable.
Why would anyone do that? That's so weird.
I don't know. Chris Chan shoved a fucking broken pieces of his, what was it called?
Yeah, but that was
Dignity?
his freaking medallion.
His dignity. No,
That
Chris
too,
Chan had a
but-
medallion of the character he
Yeah, but
created,
here's the thing, though.
Sonichu.
Yes. Yeah, but here's the thing with Chris Chan, though. That was basically a troll taking something with an autistic man way too far.
Yeah.
I don't know what a
With TJ
Sonichu
Kirk-
is, but I'm pretty sure it
With
doesn't
TJ
belong to
Kirk, that's just him doing something, and no one knows why.
He did it supposedly as an erotic thing between him and this woman.
Oh my god.
She wanted to
Yeah.
see this on a video, him do this because
Okay, little pro tip for all you younger people out there that haven't been dating very often, or are new to it. If a girl asks you to stick anything in your ass on video, it's not for erotic. That's some Nigerian dude trying to either get money out of you or blackmail you.
right.
How about this? Just don't do nudes. Just don't.
No, you know what? I hear you, Far. It's ugly because lots of nudes have gone the wrong way, but there is a world of fucking difference in my mind by sending a sexy picture topless to your boyfriend and then him returning a video of him shoving a banana up his oiled up ass. Those things are not
No, there is definitely a difference there. No, I agree with that. I'm just saying.
like why shouldn't a couple be able to send little
point?
erotic nudes between each other? But fruit anal insertion? Nah, that's something else, man.
You're really jumping
Yeah,
the gun there.
There just comes a point where maybe you should just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you
It might
just
be
shouldn't.
time to. Yeah, it's time to reevaluate your position in this relationship. Like, are we really at the point where we're sticking things in our asses?
Yeah.
Because you're probably not. I mean, you have to be kind of you have to know your partner very well for that to happen.
No
They
kidding.
usually don't lead with that.
And on top of that, I like the way you said, when she's asking you to do this on camera, this isn't something that's going on in the bedroom when you're both there. This is her saying, hey, baby, why don't you? Are you fucking kidding me? You're not even in the same state I'm in right now. You want me to record this and send this to you? Like,
Yeah,
doesn't this
That
have
won't
red
end up
flags
on
all
the
over
internet.
it for you? I mean,
you would think.
You would think
Yeah.
that.
You
But
would
when you're a
assume.
neckbeard atheist, who knows?
Yeah. Oh man, and he's so gross on top of that. Like, hey, let's see what we can get this fat guy to do, guys. What do you think? Hey, let's make him stick a banana in his ass. Oh, he's not gonna do that. Just try it. Just try it. Okay. Holy shit, he did it.
Yeah, it does seem like it really does seem like a coordinated trolling attempt of some kind.
Absolutely.
The more you think about it, the more it's like, man, I think I've heard this, but with like people trying to troll Chris Chan,
I don't even think it needs
seems
to be
oddly
that.
familiar.
Apparently, it didn't need to be that coordinated because he just did it.
Yeah, that's weird. Don't stick things in your butt on camera, people, unless you are a pretty girl and you're getting paid a lot of money. And get the money up front.
Yeah, always get the money up front.
oh,
Don't just do that.
Wait, is this true? Circus Zero said that he poured hot wax on his balls and dick.
he did.
that
That's true. That's a separate
Oh,
incident, but it's
God.
true. Yeah.
Why?
What? Gross! Ow! First of all, ow. Second of all, gross. That's not a lubricant. That's gonna dry, and harden, and get crusty.
Ugh.
And it's gonna burn like
These
a
are-
motherfucker at first.
These are all things I did not want to think of right now. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
think about the amazing atheist having scabs on his dick and balls because he burned them with hot wax. That's disgusting. Thanks. This bar is weird.
So, to get off the topic of
Get off.
to remove ourselves from the subject of TJ Kirk and his fucking whatever you want to call it, give it a name.
Fetish?
fetish. Or his girl's fetish that she convinced him to be into. What a dumbass.
Hey, Polly, before we go on, there's a request to copy the links that I just posted and put them in the description.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll do that right now here. It's going to take a second for me to do that. So talk amongst yourselves about something other than TJ Kirk.
Who else is really gross?
Oh, Jesus. See,
Christian?
this is
I'm
why.
not familiar with Christian.
Oh, don't get far. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone, Jack. Well,
No.
Oh my.
What if Tess Holliday started dating TJ Kirk?
Oh,
Please don't.
hey, chat, we got, I don't know, over 50 people I
Would
don't
you rather
know
the Chris Chan
watching.
talk, yeah?
Chat, if you guys have heard of Chris Chan and you vaguely know who that person is, press 1 in chat. I'm curious how many people here actually know what the fuck we're talking about. The individual who was on stream who got trolled by a bunch of people, created a character named Sonichu. If any of this sounds familiar, go ahead and hit 1. If not, well, we'll find out just how strange far in our...
See, people like TJ Kirk are the reason I always say on Eve's stream, I won't judge out loud, but he's one of the exceptions.
Yeah, I don't know, he just seems like a very angry person. I got nothing against the guy. If he wants to go be a weirdo, that's cool, but he just seems very angry and very, like he's not dealing with the anger in a healthy way, and it just makes him angrier because he's not satisfying whatever the original problem was. Like,
Right.
he's not correcting that, so he just consistently gets angrier and angrier, and he's screaming into the wind.
We are getting a lot of ones,
but
a lot of zeros as well.
See, we're not so odd, Far. Do you feel a little bit? I feel a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like I thought maybe we're the only ones who knew who the hell this guy was amongst the group here. So
I don't know. He's very infamous. He's very infamous.
Yeah, but some of them are saying they've heard the name, but they don't actually know exactly what it is.
That's as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean,
so I thought that Jack was just trying to troll me, or someone was trying to troll Jack. He says, "Hey, can you go ahead and copy and paste all that into the stream?" And it's like, yeah, I did. I didn't realize that I'd accidentally caught Pete's posting right after that, which was just him correcting himself. He put ass. So I paste it there in chat, and I see everyone's Streamlabs, Far's, Jacob's Streamlab, and then Pete ass. I'm like, what the fuck? Did someone think I wasn't going to notice that? It was like, no. Here, I'll leave it in for the good times. It's Pete ass. Yeah. Let's just leave that down there. And then I'll have people asking me in the comments, who the fuck is Pete ass?
What, you never heard of Pete ass?
Yeah, Pete ass.
There we go. Save changes. Okay, so if there's something that should be appearing underneath us there, chat, and it's should be in the.
Okay, so is Sonichu a cross between Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to know how he thought the idea up?
It's a total original creation that he made himself. Obviously, do not steal. That's how this works, right?
Yes, that is absolutely how this works. He had a project in high school where it was something to do with making like some sort of mixtape thing. I don't fucking know. It was the 90s, whatever, I guess.
Oh, how old
and he
is
wanted
this
to do
weirdo?
something. Oh god, he's pretty old now.
He's
But
mid-30s
he
now, I
graduated
would
in
have to
2000.
imagine.
Yeah, something like that. He graduated in 2000 though, so that's how long this has been going on.
Oh god.
But
Okay.
yeah, but so he wanted to make an album that was like a combination of Pokemon and Sonic the Hedgehog. But his teacher was going, no, we can't do that, copyright shit and all that. So what does Chris decide to do? Why? He decides to make his own character called Sonic Chew. Right? Sonichu! Yeah!
This can only end well.
Yeah, this
Totally
can only
original.
end well. Yeah, and so that's the origin of Sonichu. It was literally from that, and he just never let it go. It just went on from there.
So has he got like some learning disabilities or something?
Oh yeah, no, he's autistic.
Oh, okay. No, that explains why.
But that's Yeah, but that's the thing though with Chris Chan. It's kind of one of those stories of this is how not to treat your autistic child.
Mm.
Ooh, cautionary tales are the worst.
Yeah, he's a very, very cautionary tale. Because it's
Wait,
oh god, basically his parents never actually helped him.
is this true what Functional's saying, that he went into a GameStop and tried to paint Sonic merchandise into Sonichu?
That's
Sort
partially
of.
true.
He had
Sort
anger
of.
over the miscoloring of the character now, so he went in and tried to change the arm color, wasn't it, Far?
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he went into a GameStop and he was protesting Sonic Boom and how they changed Sonic's arm
Yep,
color
I
from what was it, from
fucking knew
flesh
it.
to blue?
It was from
It was like
flesh
from-
to blue.
Yeah, from flesh to blue because apparently that's a big no-no.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is a huge
you don't
no-no apparently.
you don't
You
fuck
don't
with
fuck
Sonic's
with
arms.
Sonic's arms.
Is
So he decided
Sonic's
to have these little printouts, right, where it's like, do not buy this game. His arm color has changed. Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
And he's
because
trying to go into all these game stores and slip this into the front pocket, or the front cover thing of the games. and
Oh
just
my
walk out.
god, that's so weird and creepy.
and that was totally the biggest problem with Sonic Boom.
Yeah, oh yeah, right. But
So,
he
Wait, I
so
need
he was
some.
doing this.
I
He
need a
was
little bit of
doing this
background.
as he.
Okay, one at a time.
Go ahead, Far.
Yeah, so he was doing this and he gets caught by an employee who basically tells him, do this shit. What are you doing? And so, of course, Chris does the logical thing of walking away and trying to pepper spray the guy.
Oh.
It doesn't. But the thing is, he doesn't actually pepper spray. He pepper sprays the guy's shirt, not his eyes. So no one actually got hurt. And this is also around about maybe mid to beginning of his Tom girl phase, I think it was.
Wait, what?
Oh no.
Okay, so basically Chris now identifies as Christine, and everyone's pretty much thinking that he's doing this just to continue his love quest.
Right.
Love.
I am also of this opinion. And but in the beginning though, he was kind of still like, no, it's just cross-dressing. It's just cross-dressing, and he was calling it. So you know how like girls, they'll call themselves tomboys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was trying to do the same thing for himself, except call himself a tom girl.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, no, it's not, but it is to Chris. Yeah, that is just, there's so much. With Chris Trent, there's just so much.
Oh,
So-
it doesn't stop. Like the whole liquid Chris thing, and it just
The what?
oh shit! I shouldn't have mentioned that. Somebody
Basically, okay. Yeah, so someone started trying to pretend to be Chris, but in a way where it's obviously he's just, he's just mocking him.
Yeah, parody.
He's just
yeah.
mocking him. Yeah, it's just a parody, really. And then Chris sees this and thinks this guy's trying to steal his identity and claim that he is the real Chris from Western Channel.
Oh, Jesus.
And so it led to this. So the guy realizes this and he's like, "Yeah, let's continue this." So they do this
Well,
whole
yeah.
thing like of fighting with each other. It goes on for fucking ages. And every time the guy, Liquid Chris as we call him, was basically winning every contest because he was actually talented in everything
Mm-hmm.
that Chris thought he was talented in.
Oh, Jesus.
Was this like in real life that they met up or something?
No, over YouTube.
Oh,
No, over
that-
YouTube.
So he was trying to put him through a trial to earn the name Chris Chan or something?
Well, there was an underlying current of it all. Of basically, the whole goal, in a way, was kind of because there's a couple of other people involved in this after a while, and they were kind of trying to get him to improve his life.
So
Ish.
like
Get him
that
to
guy was
actually
like,
do exercise and shit. But
for this contest, we're going to clean our room. See if we can do it
no, not
faster.
quite like that. It was
Oh.
more like yeah, we're gonna play the guitar, and Chris Chan would be like using Guitar Hero guitar, and the other Liquid Chris would be
Oh
using
my
an actual
God.
guitar. And then somewhere behind the scenes, there'd be this girl called Casey, who's basically just trying to get Chris to like exercise and shit.
Wow.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Now, one thing I am confused on is what color are Sonic's arms? Why is that a big deal? I literally do not understand.
His arms used to be
So-
flesh
No
colored,
one-
but for this
his-
specific release, they turned it to blue. Chris couldn't accept
Yeah.
that.
That's it.
The spin-off made his arms blue.
Wait, his arms weren't blue in the original Sonic?
No, his arms are normally
No.
flesh colored.
Really? I never noticed that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm playing the game and not obsessing
Yeah.
about the character.
You're looking at the things that are supposed to
Yeah.
be focused on, not the color of his arms.
And for those of you who don't know,
Exactly.
Chris Chan transitioned to being Christina Chan or whatever.
But Christine. I think it
Christine.
was.
And it's Midnight in Exile makes a
No one
funny
remembers
comment
that.
description of it. Chris Chan was a proto Yaniv who figured out being a tranny was a cheat code, because that is part of Chris Chan's thing, is that like, I'm an oppressed woman now, I'm an oppressed tranny. Like, that's part of where he, she, they, zer comes from now. But I mean, not really, because the great merger is what Christine is mostly interested in, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, okay, hang on. So Sonic's like stomach fur, it just matches his arms. He's just like got
Mhm.
different colored fur patches. It's not like actual flesh, right?
I don't. We don't think about Sonic too much.
I don't know.
Well, I'm looking
I
at these-
just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about. Well, you know, I'm old, so a lot of this shit is
I
just
don't
a
really
little
know
beyond
much
me
either, to be honest.
generationally.
So, I mean,
Like,
so
Sonic's
here's what did
really
happen,
big.
and you'll like this one, Jack. I think this will appeal.
Well, now I'm stuck on this rift of like the people that want Sonic to have one color and the other is like, you know, are there camps on this? Is this a
No.
thing?
Or I think it's
Literally,
Christine. I think
Chris
it's
Chan is
just
the
Christine.
only one who gives a fuck about Sonic's arm colors.
Well, I don't want there to be a war in the gaming and deviant art community over Sonic's weird fur colors. It's very distressing to me to know that this is divisive in the community.
It's only
It-
divisive to Chris.
I
Like,
bet he wonders
well,
what
really.
vagina feels like.
To be perfectly fair, though, it is
actually,
oh my god. To be perfectly fair, though, it is the Sonic fandom we're talking about, so it might be a bigger thing than any of us know.
Okay, so Jack, it's probably not going to come as any great surprise to you that Chris Chan is a big fan of My Little Pony.
No, at this point, that seems to be kind of like a given. It's part of the uniform, as it were.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and Far, go ahead, correct me if I'm wrong, the great merger that Chris Chan thinks is going to happen is, see, My Little Pony's a real world in Chris's mind.
What?
oh, it's not just My Little Pony. It's his whole Quickville thing.
Right, okay, so the whole it's like, it exists. It really exists. He, she, it, they, zer wasn't writing imaginary happenings. This was access to this other world that they had.
Well, actually, the way it's a bit weirder than that, honestly, because at first he did write it as an imaginary thing to kind of. You can very well see that in the beginning when you see the Sonic 2 comics, but the reason why he believes all this is real is because of a thing called the idea guy. The idea guy planted ideas into his head, like the CPU goddess thing for one of them. Okay? And he actually got him to believe them.
And this
Yeah,
is
but
different
a
than
lot
the
of
bear
these things-
conductor?
Yes, this is different than that conductor.
Okay.
But this idea guy was basically feeding him all these ideas,
Okay.
basically, of like, so your world is real, this is real, and if you don't do as we say in this comic and turn these certain things into Nazis, we have a giant laser on the moon that will destroy Quickville. That is a real thing. I'm not making any of that shit up, by the way.
What?
But no, you believe
I'm sorry.
that they had the idea guy had a giant laser on the moon that was pointed right at his imaginary world and would destroy it.
Okay,
But
so the short
in order
version of
to
the story, though, is that these other worlds are,
Yeah.
it's real. It exists in
you
a
got him to believe
parallel
that it's real.
existence to our own. And there's a great merger coming where they will come together. And that's what Christine Chan is talking about, looking forward to, prophesying.
Okay, so this idea guy just stole the plot for Infinite Crisis or Crisis on Infinite Earth.
More or
And was like,
less.
I'm gonna convince this
Yeah.
retard that this is real. And then he did it,
Yep.
and he's like, haha.
Yeah, but he also had some really shitty intentions as well, so
And it's
beyond that. I mean, that's shitty enough as is, but there were some other things that were like, oh,
Well, I mean,
Real.
in a way, in comedy value, it's funny, but at the same time, like, that's really mean.
it is mean, and it doesn't have any of the interest of the bear conductor. Like, because
Yeah, or
bear
any of the,
conductor is Chris Chan's own thing, like his own creation, as opposed to somebody coming in and doing this to him.
Bear conductor?
Okay, so okay. Have you,
This is so complicated. Why are you people
Okay.
so complicated?
no, okay. Have you ever been to a Chuck E.
But
Cheese?
this is how much there is about Christian.
Yeah.
It's
Real.
just, it keeps going.
Have you ever been
Real
to a?
quick.
Have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese?
Hang on, Jacob's got something here.
Okay.
No, I just I'm gonna bounce.
Oh, are you? Okay. Thanks for coming by the Noir Bar,
Okay.
Jacob. You're always
Thanks for
welcome.
the
for having me.
nightmares.
Yep, no problem. I'm
See ya.
glad you. All right, later.
Later, Jacob.
Later.
Okay, so you know, like the big animatronic animals they have at had at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he goes to the mall one day, and there's this
Okay.
bear, and it's like an animatronic bear,
Yeah.
and to keep the story simple, he becomes convinced over some things that happened there that this bear is talking to him personally.
What?
Well, to
Are
be
you-
fair, the bear
are you guys
kind of
fucking
was
with
talking
me?
to
No,
him.
no.
The
And-
bear was because it had a microphone. So there was a guy. It was one of those ones where there was a guy off to the side controlling it, and he had a microphone.
so
he's, like,
it's got a
talking
little
through
speaker in
that.
its mouth, like they do at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
but he's like it's an actual guy though that's actually talking.
Yeah.
Going like, "What's your name, son?"
And
Like that kind of thing.
right. And so because the bear addresses him personally, he thinks that this animatronic bear conductor of this little animal orchestra is like I don't know, like what would you call it, Far? Like some sort of like
Like
magical
like
being that's informing him of
the,
things.
the best way to really put it is like, you know, it's God, Jesus, and the bear.
Right.
So like the son and the Jesus and
Yeah,
the
You,
they-
you
bear.
guys seriously aren't
In a
fucking
weird
with
way.
me. Like, this
No.
is a real
We're
thing.
not fucking with you. This is real.
And so
That's the great thing about it. It's fucking real. We can't.
no, he was a kid
we
when this
could-
happened.
If we tried to make shit up like that, this was this crazy, it wouldn't sound like this.
No, it wouldn't. Like so, like he was a kid when this happened, and he came to believe that. Oh, Far. What was his actual birth name?
Christopher.
Christopher. And because the bear called him Christian, the bear was knighting him or endowing him with a new name. So he was Christian Weston Chandler from that point on. Because the
But
guy
the
with the
best
mic
part
had
is,
fucked
though-
up his name.
But the best part is though, his name was actually legally changed afterwards, and there is an article you can find, and I shit you not, where they're talking about this, about like local boy has a new name because of one mistake.
Right.
There's an article about this, and this article, his dad, like Christian's own father, is quoted as saying, "Yeah, we were originally gonna call him Christian when he was born, but I chickened out."
And it's like, who knows why his dad was going along with that? Really quick, Johnny Hellcat over on the Streamlabs. Well, look at that. Streamlabs are set up. Everyone hit that like button like Bruce Jenner's car.
Wow.
Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, wow is right. But yeah, I mean, Jack, it just goes on. And like, so when he was a kid, he had this encounter with the bear, what he called the bear conductor. He viewed it as this big mystical, life-changing experience, and he changed his name over it, and believed that was like a turning point in his life. The bear conductor set me off on this path, and into adulthood, he thinks that way and talks that way.
So the bear made him a man.
Yes, apparently. But,
So
oh
wait,
my god.
so did he get his name legally changed? Like, did his
Yes.
parents go along with this crap?
Yes.
Are they
Yeah.
retarded too?
Yeah. Well, we know that they are hoarders. Well, his dad is dead. His mom's still alive, and at this point, to be honest, when she dies, Chris is gonna be homeless. So
Why doesn't this guy have a TLC show? Because I mean, they put Honey Boo Boo on, and that's not even nearly this entertaining and weird.
Yeah.
well, here's the thing, though. Jack. Nowadays, we're talking about a lot of this stuff, right? But the golden age of Chris Chan was like 2009, so 10 years ago. Okay?
Is he still
Nowadays,
alive?
it's more. Yeah, no, he's still alive. But nowadays, it's more people are trying to just observe instead of interact. The people that interact with him are guys like the idea guy who actually just feed him this crap and try to actually manipulate him in some way.
Yeah, that's just
But
mean.
usually, yeah, exactly. That's why people usually just try to watch him, or if something like this happens, the people that used to troll him actually intervene now.
Yeah, they took
feel
on.
bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just a strange long story, and until you hear the guy yelling and screaming the weird shit that he did, and then all of his thoughts about gays when he was trying to get a girlfriend, and he was just like he had
Oh my god,
the
yeah.
most like, and then in and out of his church community because he was like in a religious environment, but then he went out of it and he ended up transitioning, so obviously he doesn't have those opinions about gays or oh my god, like dude, it's decades of complexity, man.
Debatable, though. That is debatable, though.
Yeah.
'Cause it really depends. It really depends on, like, when you're talking to him and, like, of what with that one. But, oh my god, do you want me to find his, like,
No.
love quest line?
Pete said I had a similar experience but I had taken a shitload of shrooms and it was a meerkat, not a bear.
Well, I just found the video from Down the Rabbit Hole on this.
Oh yeah, that's a great place to start.
Quick look.
Yeah,
It
because
is a
it's
quick look.
Frederick, the guy who makes Down the Rabbit Hole, in chat. If you haven't watched Down the Rabbit Hole, it's a fun ride, man, and he is an excellent video producer. In terms of the research, his narration, and the editing, it's interesting, wild stories that could only happen. And well, no, that's not true, because I was going to say only happened in the internet era, but he covers those weird brothers who lived as hoarders in the building in Chicago to the
my
Oh,
40s.
he's back in the 20s in New York?
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
not Chicago, New York. Yeah.
And the hurdy-gurdy?
Yeah, right. And the Rat City. I still haven't watched that one because I don't want to see all the videos of the rats.
There's no videos of the rats.
Okay.
It's fucked up. There's no videos of the rats. It's just more describing.
Yeah, I read about that in college. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been aware of that one for a while.
And
Yeah.
Down the Rabbit Hole has a great Time Cube video that has a lot to do with the Australian guy who researched and accepted and went and met the guy behind Time Cube and just whew.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in the world.
To cut it, you want to talk about crazy stuff that goes on in the world. I'm starting to notice that people are still putting up videos like a week after the fact about, can you believe cancel culture went after Dave Chappelle? I'm not saying that you got to be like hot on the minute, like the day that something happened, like the day that Vox or whoever the fuck released an article trying to cancel Dave Chappelle or whatever. You got to do it that day. But if you're more than a week off, you should really call it the aftermath, not the original thing. Does that make sense?
That requires extra work, and people are lazy.
They
want to see how popular something is before they jump on the bandwagon.
Right. It strikes me as really after the factism. And there's very few people that can get away with doing that. Bering is one of them. Because Bering's material and his take on it is always just so Bering, so uniquely Bering. He's famous from my perspective of covering stories like a week, 10 days, 2 weeks late for the past number of months. Fuck it, he's busy, and his videos are always still funny when you watch him. He's one of the few guys I'll give a pass for that on.
Well, he's got that hot wife. So.
Yeah. and he knocked up the hot wife, so he's
Yeah,
busy.
That's just a smart move. Lock that down.
That's just a smart move. Exactly.
Yeah, because I've seen them, and she is way hotter than his league probably allows for.
But in all of the relatively new takes that I've been seeing off of it, and I'm seeing it not just from people that are criticizing, like, are you kidding me? You're trying to social justice check a comedian again, and somebody who's as big and high profile as Dave Chappelle. I gotta hand it to Salon. Their take on it, like a week late, is one of the best takes I've read so far. I'm looking at the article right now, and it's what happened to Dave Chappelle. The cruelty of sticks and stones is a sign of the times.
Grow up.
See, they want to criticize him, but they know that criticizing him directly is not going to be.
No,
It's going to receive backlash. They've already seen the other outlets receive backlash. So these disgusting ideological smear merchants over at Salon know enough to shape their article well. This is clever propaganda. You see what I mean?
It's not actually about Dave Chappelle. It's about the culture we live in Trump's America.
You nailed it. I haven't read anything but the headline, the subheadline, and the first couple of sentences. And I'm like, Jack, it's got to be that way from the way that it reads. They start off by talking about September 11th.
Okay.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. On September 17th, 01, the great David Letterman became the first late-night host to return to television days after 9/11 blindsided New York City and the world. In his monologue, Letterman eschewed attempts at humor, choosing instead to meet the confusion and mourning blanketing America with an appropriate solemn acknowledgement. This became the pause the nation needed before permission to laugh again in the wake of horrific tragedy.
You need permission to
Like,
laugh
do
again?
you like?
You okay, America?
Well,
No.
Melanie McFarlane is the author of this particular piece. I'm not going to call her a
Do you need,
journalist or
like,
whatever.
assistance or
It reads so. I don't know, guys. Help me out. What's the word for this? Like overwrought? What are you talking about? This is purple prose at its worst.
Pretentious bullshit.
Pretentious bullshit. Yeah, we desperately needed a breath before we all felt that it was okay to. What are you talking about? But
and we had to turn to a late night comedian to do it. No. A buddy of mine. I was out of college by this point in 2001, and I'd been at work that day. And when I got home, one of my friends called me and he's like, dude, okay, so if the FBI ever asks where I got my music collection, all my original CDs are in storage locker 151 in the basement level of the World Trade Center. Oh, shit!
Oh.
Yeah, that day.
that day.
I didn't need permission from David Letterman to laugh. That was fucking hilarious.
And Pete says it right. You need permission from a talk show host. No, that's exactly. It's just pretentious bullshit McFarlane's spewing out. That's a great word for it, pretentious. Really quick over on the Streamlabs. James Polly says, far. So, the bear conductor is like the Pope?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was more thinking about like the Holy Spirit, which is why I said like the Father, the Son, and the conductor bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize I'm doing the motion of that, and no one can see it, but I don't care. But
and we're all proud of
Catholic
you for
upbringing. But
so,
yeah, though I don't know.
That has a name, by the way. I'm not Catholic, but I understand it to be spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch.
You nailed it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, that is the action.
So
I say raised Catholic, but it's like very vague in that sense.
It's vague Catholic.
I'm like, yeah, it's vague Catholic.
Johnny Bonsacco says, but Paulie, Salon is garbage. Yeah, I know, man. I hear you. I know you're saying it. We're in agreement on this, but I mean, Salon is just the hottest of bullshit, faux intellectual. I don't know, man. I lose words trying to describe some of this crap. So anyway, it's like this became the pause the nation needed before feeling permission to laugh again in the wake of a horrific tragedy. Nearly 20 years later, another great Dave Chappelle, has handed a different permission slip to America. One giving folks the green light to laugh at tragedies and, more to the point, victims and survivors. Nobody ever cracked a joke about somebody who's gay, somebody who's transgender, transsexual, transvestite, whatever before. No, that's bullshit. It's happened for decades, and you fucking well know it, McFarlane.
No, we need permission to crack those jokes.
Well, Dave is now given it. Another great Dave. Maybe that's not being fair. You think? The 9/11 attacks resulted in the deaths of 2,996 people and the injuries of more than 6,000 others. A massive culture-shifting calamity by any person's definition. In his new Netflix special, Sticks and Stones, the objects of Chappelle's ire are folks ostensibly making their personal tragedy everyone's problems by using them to perpetrate career death and reputation homicide upon celebrities. These people tell us have made him a victim blamer.
Really?
He guns for two men at the center of Leaving Neverland, who allege that the late pop music idol Michael Jackson molested them when they were 7 and 10 years old, and cancel culture advocates who took aim at his personal friends like Kevin Hart and another A-list comic he was good friends with before he died in a terrible masturbation accident. Then there's the easily offended alphabet people, his shorthand for the LGBTQ community. Particularly, he says the confusing TS, the Me Too movement, organizers of school shooting drills. They've all gotten out of hand and need to be taken down a peg. Chappelle even takes a moment to stereotypically mimic Asians, which he diffuses later on by reminding the audience that his wife is Asian. The entirety of Sticks and Stones is structured around such logic, by signaling to those who are true believers in his genius that it's all just a joke, only words. This earns his ability to punch down, as the parlance goes. Oh, but you, McFarlane, you're above that. Oh, as those people say, I'm not one of them. I'm just reporting on it as a culture journalist.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that's where you're going, but it absolutely feels like that's what you're doing. We'll see if it does.
Well, it's pretty obvious this woman has no sense of humor and doesn't understand fun and probably is an uptight bitch. And she'll walk in the room
And probably doesn't believe in the conductor bear.
Yeah, Mr. Dax calls him the alphabet aristocracy.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, she probably walked through the mall and the conductor bear tried to talk to her and she was like, I understand your truth, Mr. Bear, but I gotta go to a meeting about how awesome I am. I fucking hate these people. It's pretentious. It really is the perfect word for people like this. They think they're better than everybody and that you have to do things their way because they are the nobility and you are but a lowly peasant. And they think you smell funny and Walmart, that's for the plebeians. I hate her. I hate her already. I just created that whole narrative, but I hate her for it.
Same.
And perhaps he doesn't really mean it when he says, even if Jackson molested children, I mean, long pause, it's Michael Jackson. I know more than half the people in this room have been molested in their lives. But it was no goddamn Michael Jackson, was it? This kid had his dick sucked by the king of pop. We all get this awkward Thanksgiving for the rest of our lives. Yes, perhaps it is just words. But to paraphrase the portion of one of his bits, damn it if his angle isn't confusing. Well, several critics and comedians liken the latest from Chappelle's, taken to grumpy middle-aged uncle who refuses to evolve with the times. I have a different theory. Are you looking forward to Chappelle's different theory, or her different theory on Chappelle?
Oh boy.
On the whole, Sticks and Stones exists as a defiant design to intentionally offend large swaths of the audience Chappelle deemed too thin-skinned and too outraged, too quick to find offense, while serving up simple low-bar yucks to anyone earning validation for their anti-PC stance. Indeed, it may end up being one of the defining comedy specials of our time, because our time is defined by cruelty. Me first. To hell with everybody else cruelty. What in the fuck are you talking about? Our time is currently defined as everyone calls everyone else a snowflake. Everyone is accusing everyone else of being fragile. Fragility is the phrase. Liberal, conservative fragility, white male fragility, feminist fragility. What are you talking about? Everyone doesn't give a fuck about everyone else. The comment is everybody's too thin-skinned to make it in the world, is the line.
Polly, it's not their fault. It's it's a side effect of having two spirits and headmates. That's why they're so sensitive.
It's a sign of not listening to the conductor bear.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Well, okay, Ebony asks, what are we talking about again? We're talking about over at Salon, the height of fake intellectualism, where this writer, Melanie McFarlane, is attempting to explain why everybody who's criticizing Dave Chappelle's recent comedy special doesn't actually understand what's going on. According to her different theory, we just live in a time of cruelty, me first, to hell with everybody else cruelty. And Dave is simply a sign of the times. She goes on to describe in detail how much money he's getting from Netflix, which is relevant how.
I don't know, because money is relevant, apparently.
Holy fuck, this article is long, guys.
Well, of course, she gets paid by the word, I bet.
Melanie McFarlane is Salon's TV critic.
Well, she's got lots to complain about because there's a lot of problematic things out there, like Trump and white men.
Well, I'm curious. Let's check out her Twitter and see what it says.
Oh, boy.
Well, her avatar picture is most certainly not her. It's a screen freeze from Foxy Brown. Or, excuse me, Jackie Brown. And her banner picture is of Storm. The X-Man Storm. Or X-Person Storm, rather. I'm not sexist after all. Everything appears to be... I mean, she's retweeting Vox.
She's as woke can be. She sounds like a boring person. She probably is bad in bed, too.
Yeah, and she's... Yeah, it just goes on and on. Yeah, half the people she's retweeting all have the pride flag in their name, like their streaming title.
Oh, Pete's got a good question. Does she have her preferred pronouns in her bio?
She does not.
Oh. Well, somebody should write her a strongly worded letter and say, we need to know your pronouns so we know that you're in the cult. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Right.
I guess that this is supposed to be... I mean, she retweets this... let's see here. Hold on. Let me... Jesus. Clearly, Melanie McFarlane either wants to come across as a black woman or the most woke ally ever, because all of her material is on black women's thoughts on things and so forth. And she's like retweeting one person who called... apparently somebody she likes is, "You're a sick racist, Charlotte," aimed at Charlotte Clymer. And Charlotte Clymer responds, "Sweetie, I have nothing against white people. I love unseasoned food. I can't be anti-white." Which is what?
Right.
Like, what's that a reference to? It sounds like you goddamn well know you can get away with and get a lot of followers for being... What did he call you? A sick racist? Yeah. You can be a mentally sick racist and crack jokes against white people, and it's fine, but don't you dare say anything about anyone that resembles my skin tone. Okay. Melanie McFarlane seems
What?
really caught up in the idea that the great drama of, The Dark Crystal, the movie,
Yeah.
with the rubber puppets and everything.
Yeah.
It's she retweets somebody who's trying to explain the Dark Crystal in the Age of Resistance and understand
Huh?
the puppetry is of a high genius level, incredible. It's also a major obstacle for anyone who can't get past the fact that this great drama is portrayed by puppets, because apparently there's some great lesson to learn from it in the Age of Resistance.
Right. Okay. So, where does this woman live again? Because I want to stay far the hell away from it.
Texas, it looks like.
Oh, good. I mean, not good if you live in Texas, but
Ready or Not pretty much says marriage kills women one way or another. How did I sleep on this one? You should stop watching TV. I realize that's literally your job, is to watch TV and comment about it, and you get paid by Salon. Salon is the biggest fucking trash rag. It's a giant. It's a blog on steroids. That's Salon. There's no investigation in anything. It's just people going blah blah blah, my opinion, my feelings, my thoughts, mine, blah 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 blah. That's a blog. It's not a source for news or information that can't be had anywhere else. The only reason you would go there is if you want to hear people's opinionated takes on different things that are in actual news. Yeah, that's a blog. Evil One says Netflix has the Dark Crystal series. Maybe that's what they're referring to. Like I said, she is their TV reporter. Maybe they're just really caught up in that.
maybe. But again, it's like, who knows?
The Seattle Times reports, and Melanie McFarlane talks about the ties between Fox News and the GOP are more than ideological, they're financial. The King County Republican Party has hired a Fox News contributor. Yes, and Fox News also hired Donna Brazil. And did you want to talk about how Time Warner, who owns CNN, was a massive Hillary Clinton campaign donator? Oh, you don't want to talk about that, Seattle Times. That's amazing. It's almost like you only care about connections between shill media and political leaders when they're not political leaders that you want to see get advanced to office through using shill money. Sorry, that just pisses me off. I mean, Time Warner is a massive DNC donor. Does it surprise anybody that CNN, who they wholly own, pumps the issues that are of interest to CNN or of interest to the DNC? Doesn't surprise me at all. Who owns Fox? News Corp. Does News Corp endlessly promote GOP political objectives or conservative objectives worldwide? At times. Overall, no. It would be tough to make that claim. Fox is ideological as fuck. I'm not saying they're not. What my mind is blown away by is Melanie McFarland over here. Okay, first of all, what has this got to do with your TV reporting? Because supposedly that's all this Twitter count is about. But here you are talking about how Fox News is hooked up financially in this one area, in this one thing, because the Seattle Times said it about the GOP. You're not remotely worried about how every other news network, like NBC, is owned by who? GE. Who did GE donate to? Who are they backing? The DNC. Hmm. So MSNBC, that's owned by NBC, which is owned by GE, are all huge DNC supporters, financially and ideologically. You tweeting stories about that? Melanie McFarlane? No, she's not. Because she agrees with those people politically, so there's no scandal there. Move on. Nothing to see here. All right. Sorry for the ranting. Just gets on my nerves.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine.
Did Jack go to bed?
He stepped away for a minute and he hasn't come back. So.
Well, I did hear him say that. I just wow. Oh man. Sorry, I'm having my mind blown just skipping through Melanie McFarlane's Twitter. I'm just gonna close the tab. This is bad streaming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it blows my mind. These people that spend all day on Twitter, and when they're not on Twitter, they're writing rag articles for fucking Salon, and their entire projected personality in life on social media and through their article writing is, I'm smug and I'm really smart, and come to me so I can explain to you how the world works because you probably don't get it.
Yeah, at least when I'm not on Twitter, I'm just doing other things and not making everyone else miserable. Probably.
Yeah. Pete says
probably,
you should tweet her that and see what she says. Sorry, Far? I didn't hear that.
No, I mean, I say maybe, but then I think of all the times that I bring weird shit to the table. So, you never know. Maybe I am making someone miserable.
I don't know. Are you accusing people of not being able to reach the moral heights which you occupy?
No, but I do tell people about Christian.
Yeah, but that's just good laughs. That's different.
Apparently not through everyone.
Well, admittedly, we shouldn't be laughing at those with mental disabilities like Kamala Harris does. No!
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Evil One says, yeah, she's an influencer, right? I guess. So Peter said you should tweet that at her and see what she says. I would get the responses that I've known to expect when I've seen people responding to others who tweet things like that. It doesn't enter into their circle, like into their mind. They either ignore it, number one, so just don't respond, or I guess worst case scenario, they'll flag you for hate speech or more like targeted harassment, I would imagine. Or based upon some of the people that she retweeted, whenever anyone says something at them, it's because, hey, why don't you carry some more water for Trump? Oh, owned. Like that's the game. It's Twitter. It's 280 characters of retardation. So if you're going to go on Twitter to just troll people and fuck with people, hey, absolutely, more power to you. Have a good time. You know what I mean? But to go on Twitter to actually say something to get someone to think. And I don't mean on a higher level. I mean like, say, are you fucking kidding me talking about this one isolated incident when all of the corporations that own all of the mainstream news services, sans Fox, are all major DNC donators and supporters? You're going to actually talk about this one isolated article as if it's, oh, look at what we're uncovering here. The collusion going on between the GOP and Fox News financially. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this isn't pot and kettle black situation. This is pointing at Bambi and saying, look how fucking ferocious it is when Godzilla's standing right next to Bambi. Are you fucking serious? Meh. I don't know. See? This is why I drink.
Let it out. This is why you run this bar.
Speaking of retardation, Sarah says, did you see the pedos trying to come after irate Alex? No. What? Who's fucking with Bear?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised though.
Or a whole bunch of, as that umbrella guy says, because you shouldn't even be saying that word. It'll get you auto-sorted out of existence. I shouldn't have even said P to the E to the D to the O as that umbrella guy says it, because I don't want to get tagged by saying that word. Welcome to the world of preference sorting inside of YouTube. Whew. Type up Islamic terrorism and see what comes up. Watch what'll come up. It'll be a whole bunch of anti-terrorism and radicalizing people and stuff. The recommendations and the returns based upon your search algorithms are what they want you watching, not what you asked for. That happened earlier on tonight. I was telling Far about this. The graphic that some of you might have seen, the waiting screen before the stream starts. You're looking through like a classic old school hatch and a door, and there's a lady sitting at a bar smoking. And I was looking for a green screen or alpha channel graphic of just cigarette smoke that I could isolate and stick onto that graphic that I found of the woman sitting at the bar. I went to YouTube and I typed in cigarette smoke. I forgot to type after it green screen or alpha channel. So what did I get? Just cigarette smoke. A whole bunch of stuff about how harmful cigarettes are, and here's 12 steps to quit, and. I'm telling you guys, a year and a half from now, YouTube is just going to be PSAs, really. Like, yes, of course, makeup channels. Yes, of course, unboxing channels. But then the stuff that they are going to present as adult entertainment is all going to be preferred news sources and stuff to lead you to a more ideologically sound lifestyle. Quit smoking, smoke all the weed you want, which I don't have a problem with either one of those things if you want to do it as an adult. But the idea is that I just typed in cigarette smoke. I was looking for a graphic, and they start hitting me up with reasons to quit smoking. Wasn't even close to what I asked for. Bear pissed off the Amos Yee crowd. Yeah. RVA Dar says.
Yeah.
That really? That's what it's over? Fuck.
Yeah.
I just realized that's still muted.
Ah, Jack.
I was like, why is Polly ignoring me?
I've done that. Like, if that motherfucker cuts me off one more... Oh, wait a minute, I'm muted. People are telling us Bear's catching all this hell from the Amos Yee crowd. They're fucking with him.
Well, if he had a better social credit score, he could see more things. Now, the maps get +5 for being part of the LGBTQIAP community. And that's been really pushed lately, so would you be surprised? I mean, they don't do anything about the weirdos on Twitter. Why would they do it on YouTube? That would be oppression.
Yeah, because that's the kind of people you don't want to oppress, right?
I mean, when you're talking about, Jack, I don't know if you heard it, but it's like just through the sorting things, you don't even want to say P to the E to the D to the O anymore. It's auto-recognized.
You have to use different euphemisms because that one is red flagged, I think.
What? The spelling?
No. The
yeah.
word itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that it is. I picked that up off a Tug. He refuses to say it anymore.
People that talk about it see their view counts go way down. So.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. You're somebody who's like on a YouTube, I don't know, crusade, whatever you want to call it, to say like these people are out there, they're dangerous, they're et cetera, and their view count drops. They're speaking against it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they're trying to embrace that as a sexuality and lifestyle, as opposed to the stigma it deserves.
Richly deserves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That, you know what's weird is that you get into this. I mean, you said that a number of times before, Jack. It's not going to be long before they start promoting the normalization of it. Maybe not promoting the thing, but promoting the normalization of it. And God help us all, what's beyond that, right?
Yeah.
But it seems so like libertarianism taken to some kind of crazy extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like free to do whatever you want, extreme freedom. Freedom to the point where it comes to that garbage, that fucking demented ass fucking behavior that has a fucking victim in it. You know what I mean? But yet behavior like
utopianism.
I'm sorry?
That's the problem with utopianism. You cannot have pure freedom in a civilization
No,
because
you
eventually you're going
can't.
to step all over somebody else.
Yeah. Perfect freedom does not equal perfect justice. It never has. But what kills me is that they're talking about like this kind of what would be seem to be coming from an extreme libertarian, like insanely, harmfully extreme libertarianism. But yeah, when it comes to other, but you better not say this whole series of words because that might hurt someone's feelings. This is the same crowd.
Yeah.
Words are violence, but the actual violence inflicted upon the most vulnerable in society should somehow be normalized.
Well, these are crazy people, Polly. You're using normal people logic on crazy people. Doesn't work that way. There are a bunch of self-centered utopians that think that their view is the ultimate view of how society should be run, and you should all kowtow to it. And they have enough in common with each other, they can work together for short periods before they turn on each other.
Wait. Midnight in Exile says Allen Ginsberg was a member of NAMBLA. Is that fucking true?
I don't know. Would you be surprised, though?
Well, there's a reason I'm reacting with such shock. Like Ginsberg, no. That guy was a fucking nutball. There's no question, but...
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, you don't know who Allen Ginsberg is? He's just ridiculous superstar for hippies and counterculturals and beatniks, and never produced anything terribly worthwhile in his entire life. He's celebrated the same kind of way that fucking celebrated for his writing in the same kind of way that soup can guy, what's his name? The artist, the painter.
Oh, Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol. Like Andy Warhol was like, rebel avant-garde. You know what I'm saying? And celebrated for that avant-garde edginess, right? The extreme limits of artistic cool. That's sort of like the way Ginsberg's writings and thoughts were seen. Ugh. You know what? Who is it that set up here real quick? When's the meteor gonna come? Evil One said that please meteor hit us now. And that reminded me of a meme I stole from Far. So let's
Great.
let's look at that meme instead of thinking about fucking Ginsberg and maps and all that other bullshit. You got this little dinosaur. Goes up to the little girl dinosaur. See, she's got eyelashes and a bow. It's a girl. Wait, Dana, I was just wondering, would you like to go to the dance with me on Friday? Look how acquiescent he looks. Look how nervous he is. And she's like, aw, I'd love to. And he's, yes! Little meteor in the background coming down. Oh, fuck you, Jack. It's funny and you know it.
We can't see it.
Oh, that's right. You can't. Chat gets it.
It just showed up.
Oh, it just showed. Okay, my stream's behind. Okay, cool, great. Thanks, YouTube.
Don't worry. I will, I'm on the track to getting a new computer, and when I do, we're going to be sharing everything in real time, so we won't have to go through this again. It sucks. You guys really got to see what if I'm going to display stuff, if any host is going to display anything, man, the people talking with them got to see it in real time now.
Yeah.
Look, I just love how happy he looks in the bottom corner frame. Yes! He's got the little fists. He's so happy. Oh,
his misery amuses me.
Oh, God.
Hey, you can say dad joke alert. Far's the one who posted it. I merely stole it.
That is true. These are things I can't deny.
On that note, guys, I finished off my ginger ale a little while ago, and my throat's getting sore now because I am sitting here vaping, and it's surprisingly dry in the air right now, even though it was raining. So I am going to shut down the bar, so everyone else is going to have to go home or onto a brunch bar somewhere. I'm assuming they're out there. So I'd like to, first of all, thank Jacob, even though he took off for bed like a wise man a little while ago. Thanks for coming. And Far, thanks for joining us here at the Noir Bar. And Jack, thanks for coming in, buddy. Always appreciate you having you here. And, of course, all you magnificent bastards in chat, thanks for coming by the Noir Bar. Always love having you here. And fuck, I love doing late night streams, man, on a late night vibe, late night theme. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, very few people have streams going at these hours, and of course, when you try to, somebody else is already doing it.
Yeah, no one meant to step on Bear's toes, but he's trying to do breakfast, and we're trying to do late night after hours. The international time zones are fucking with us here.
Yeah.
But we always appreciate our Australian and English friends popping by for what is middle of the night for us is late night. What time is it there for?
7:40, but I'm in the West Coast, so
it could be as far as
for me.
It's okay, so it goes later east. Yeah, I guess it works like that everywhere, doesn't it?
Yes, Polly.
What?
That's how it works. That is how the world works.
Remember that time we were talking about why can't you just go up and hover in a helicopter for
What?
Just stay up in the helicopter. Just wait for the world to rotate.
Like if you want, like, okay, let's say you want to go to South America and you're in Australia.
That whole time.
What's that?
She was giggling. I didn't understand a word she said.
Because she found this hysterical, and rightfully so. It's a funny idea. Why can't you just go up in a helicopter, like, a couple hundred yards off the ground, and just hover there and wait for the world to turn beneath you? And after you've been up in the air for 3-4 hours, the world will rotate, and then you simply go down and you're in South America.
I hate all of you.
It was a great idea, and you know it.
If the earth was flat, then it was on God's turntable, and that's why it's actually rotating. It's actually a big record. Then you can do that.
It was a fine idea, Jack. Well, as Ebony's pointed out, it's 7:41 in the morning, and it is for me as well. So it's it's definitely time for me to get home and sleep off the evenings and inebriations. Is all right, everybody. Hold on really quick. I'm just gonna check Streamlabs to make sure that I didn't forget anybody. No, I didn't. It's good, and thank you everybody who donated to Streamlabs. It was much appreciated. Puts me that much closer to not only getting a computer, but getting that dental work that I've been waiting so long for. So I don't have to keep treating Tylenol as if it's the same as dentistry, because it's totally not. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming by, and thanks to everyone who retweeted it. And if you're listening in the future, please feel free to, 1, like the stream, and 2, leave a comment below. Get a chance to read all of them and respond to most. Have a good morning, everybody.
Bye.